I'm Emily Robinson-Hardy and I'm here with Baseball and Softball UK, and I'm joined with the anti-doping lead, Dave Inman. Hello.
Hello, are you all right?
I'm very well, thank you. How
Good.
are you?
I'm good today.
So let's start with a big question. Why is anti-doping important?
Anti-doping is important for BSUK as we are under an obligation to adhere to the World Anti-Doping Agency's rules and regulations. And as part of that, we need to educate the whole of our BSUK staff, whether that be support staff, athletes, coaches, and so we have to set up educational programs for them and make sure that everyone's aware of their roles within UK anti-doping and world anti-doping.
Which teams are a part of the anti-doping pool?
Effectively, all teams are part of anti-doping, as it's not just the elite side of the sport that can be tested. Any team can be tested, any individual can be tested anywhere, anytime, any place. If you're signed up to the BSUK are signed up to their international federation, which is the WBSC. And as part of that, they are signed up to WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency. So everyone is signed up to World Anti-Doping.
And who is actually responsible for making sure that these athletes are clean?
Ultimate responsibility is down to the athlete. 100% me is what we talk about. That means that an athlete it's 100% them. There is no additives, there's no drugs involved. It's one of what we call strict liability. So anything that goes into the athlete's body is always down to them. It's their liability. Whether it's inadvertent or not, whatever goes into their body is down to them. So it's the ultimate responsibility is the athlete's.
And is there a way of ensuring that the supplements that an athlete is taking, like ensuring that they're cleared?
With supplements, it's a slightly different set of rules. No supplement can be assured that there is no contaminants in there. However, you can go onto an app called Informed Sport, or in the States it's NSF Sport. These apps will look at certain supplements which have been batch tested. Now, batch testing means that parts of those batches of those supplements have been taken away, tested, and then given the all clear. It's still not 100%, but if you're going to take a supplement, you will try and do your due diligence and get something that's been batch tested and cleared by Informed Sport or NSF Sport, and you can be pretty sure that there's no problem there. If it's not been batch tested, then that's a different matter. And supplements are, I can't remember the exact figure, but I think several years ago, supplements were 40% of all anti-doping rule violation failures.
Wow.
So 40% down to supplements, not down to an athlete taking a drug. These were down to supplements, and most of them were inadvertently taken because the supplements are contaminated.
And if an athlete is called up for anti-doping testing, what is the process?
The first thing will be notification. So the doping control officer at an event will select someone. A chaperone or the doping control officer will then inform the athlete, and they will then chaperone them until they get to the doping control station. When you get to the doping control station, the athlete will go through a series of processes. The first one being selecting a container to take a urine sample, and they will have a choice to select from. Then they will be observed giving that sample. After that, the sample is then divided It's divided into an A and B sample. Those samples are sealed. They then do a test for specific gravity to make sure that they're not too dilute. Otherwise, it will give the wrong readings or potentially give the wrong readings. So it has to be of a specific gravity. There's then some paperwork to do, which you have to declare any supplements or medications that you've taken, and that's pretty much the whole process. The samples are then sent away to a WADA accredited laboratory where the A sample is tested, B sample is kept and can be kept for many years, hence why we're finding now people several years later after an event them failing drugs tests, and they get pulled forward as the processes to detect drug taking have become more sophisticated. They manage to pick them up later on. So yeah, basically that's the process.
What resources are available for further learning?
For us, our national anti-doping organisation is UKAD, UK Anti-Doping. So we use UKAD platform, Clean Sport platform. Also there is an app called 100% Me, which has all of that information on as well, which athletes can download or support personnel can download and get all of their anti-doping information on there.
And are there ways to report a suspected anti-doping violation? Like if I was to want to report something that I suspected, how would I go about doing that?
Part of UKAD's platform has a protect your sport part on there, and you can do it via WhatsApp, email. There's 3 ways of reporting, and you can do that. It's all anonymous. Oh, text is the other one. And you can report anonymously, and it will be followed up. Everything is followed up. If you suspect anything untoward for an athlete, coaching, you can report it.
And in your role as anti-doping lead, what do you do?
Okay, part of my role as the anti-doping lead is to help adhere to the governance that we have, BSUK governance, by maintaining our assurance framework for UKAD. So we've had to go through a series of procedures and show that we have good processes in place. That gets reviewed annually. So part of my role is to make sure that we submit that annual assurance framework and also each year form an implementation plan as to what we will do in the following year and how we will deliver our anti-doping for all our athletes and our support staff.
What about coaches or athlete support personnel and volunteers? Are you also monitoring those for anti-doping?
Yeah, part of my role is also I'm a UKAD educator, so I can deliver courses, I can deliver the anti-doping education, and what I do try to push forward to support personnel is to do the introduction to clean sport, which is on the UKAD platform, and for coaches, the Coach Clean. So even if it's a parent, they can do the introduction to clean sport, and the coaches, like I say, can do the Coach Clean, and we're trying to push as many of our support personnel and coaches to do that as we possibly can.
Perfect. That is the questions for anti-doping.
Ooh.